Do you want to play a tanky caster with huge AoE and amazing single target damage? If you are, this build is perfect for you. Welcome to the Maxroll YouTube channel. I'm your host, LizardIRL, and I'll be introducing you to my Glacier Sorcerer for last Epoch, patch 1.1. Let's get into it. This build is shaping up to be one of the best builds of the patch. Sorcerer has got a ton of buffs, and Glacier is looking stronger than ever. As always, you're gonna be stacking mana in order to self-sustain Glacier and generate enough mana to be able to spam the ability non-stop, dealing incredible amounts of damage and generating a ton of worth. In this build, we're gonna focus on Glacier's third explosion, the biggest and most devastating one of all. For that, we're gonna grab all the nodes that increase its damage, like Breaking Point, Greater Destruction, Morditas Bane, Greater Chilling, and Endless Frost. Additionally, it's very important to grab Critical Rejuvenation. This node will allow us to permanently cast Glacier as long as we have enough mana and we cap our crit chance. This build also utilizes Ice Barrage. This amazing skill grants an amazing more global cold damage multiplier that will boost the damage of your Glacier. Additionally, Ice Shield provides a barrier that will block all projectiles facing it, which is amazing for defense. Ice Barrage had tons of projectiles, which is great to apply elements to your enemies quickly. Frost Wall provides another damage multiplier on the Chill Touch node and will allow you to proc Frost Wall thanks to the prepared Ward node. Since we have a lot of skills on our bar, this is necessary in order to proc Flame Ward while playing the build. We're also gonna grab Crackling Barrier for Frost Wall in order to convert it to Lightning. This might be counterintuitive, but the slow it provides, it's great and has synergies with other abilities like Arcane Ascendance. Even though it's not on our skill bar, we're still gonna spec Flame Ward. This amazing defensive skill provides tons of damage reduction, armor, and even some increased damage. Remember, it will proc when you go through your Frost Wall thanks to the Prepared Wards node inside of a Frost Wall tree. Finally, we have Arcane Ascendance. This powerful toggle ability grants tons of cast speed, increased damage, and a damage multiplier against slowed enemies on the Chronoclasm node. This is amazing for single target, and you should always look to toggle this ability before encountering a dangerous enemy. We recommend at least 1000 mana in order to sustain properly. While you can't move with this ability, you can still teleport and dash, so make sure you use that when you're fighting bosses. Regarding passives, we're gonna be focusing on cast speed, intelligence, mana, and crit multiplier. It is very important to stack intelligence in order for calculated destruction to boost our crit chance up to 100%. Another big threshold for the build is Archmage, a new passive tree, brand new on 1.1. If you reach 300 or 1000 mana, the bonuses of this passive double or triple, so aiming at reaching those numbers is extremely important for the build to feel smooth. Defensively, since we're getting a ton of mana, Lost Knowledge and Mana Well have an amazing synergy and can generate a ton of worth on its own. Additionally, you can invest into Mana Bulwark. When gearing, look for items that have mana, intelligence, and critical strike multiplier. Cast speed is also a very desirable stat, as it boosts your DPS substantially. This build doesn't need any uniques to be playable, however, there's a lot of uniques that make it shine. One of them is Wrong Wrap. This powerful wand is very important for the build. In previous patches, people would avoid using this wand since the teleport randomization can be a bit annoying, but since 1.1 introduces the dodge ability for every character in last Epoch, being able to reposition much easier makes this item way more appealing than before and way more fun to play with. It's pretty easy to farm with legendary potential, and you're looking for cast speed and crit multiplier on this bad boy. As long as you get them with legendary potential, there are tons of uniques that can fit this build. A couple suggestions are Unstable Core, Peak of the Mountain, Strand of Souls, or Transient Rest. If you've managed to get these items with multiple legendary potential, your build can really shine. Additionally, if you manage to get 180 attributes, you could try to slot 2 red rings on the build to get even more damage reduction and solve your resistances easily, combining it with a single blessing. Another key part of this build are your idols. It is very important to get mana on them, Additionally, double mana, percentage and flat. Those idols can be very hard to find, but once you find them, you know you find something important. When fighting harder bosses, you can choose to slot a Throne of Ambition into your build to get that extra armor and that extra damage multiplier. Although this is not quite needed while mapping, but very recommended while playing hardcore. Overall, we expect this to be one of the best builds of the patch. It scales amazingly with gear, and it has a very strong endgame. It's able to destroy all the content in the game, and is able to crush high corruption with ease. You can find the full written guide at maxroll.gg, and we hope you enjoy it.
Return.